Stock splits are extremely popular topics these days, with Apple and Tesla, two of the hottest stocks in the market today, announcing a stock split. Now, if you want to know the benefits or changes that come with a stock split, watch my previous video on that so you get some more background on this topic. Now, today's video, in fact, is to discuss three stocks that I think could actually see their stocks split as well in the near future. Now, I won't be discussing the obvious Amazon or Google stock that may be splitting, because those are kind of ones that people are expecting, and I wanted to go down a different route and talk about some stocks that, yes, they are really popular, but they aren't as in the limelight as much. Like one of them, I'm sure you guys are gonna be like, okay, this one, yeah, makes sense. The other two may have not crossed your mind, but they do have a history of splitting, which is why I think we could see it happen again. So anyways, guys, if you do enjoy this kind of video here, you want me to make another one, say on three more stocks I think that could split in the near term, drop a like down below to show your support for this channel. Also, I want to take a second here to give a shout out to subscriber Manuel Olag, because he is always striving to be the first comment on every video that I post, and often does get it. But can anyone dethrone him here? Let's find out. Manuel, I just want to say that I appreciate your dedication here on the channel. But anyways, guys, enough jibber jabber, let's get into stock number one. This may surprise you, but I think this semiconductor giant has a good chance of doing a stock split sometime soon. In the past year, this stock is up over 200% and has been one of the hottest stocks in the market, alongside Apple, Tesla, and other big tech giants. In fact, Nvidia is right below Tesla as one of the largest companies in the entire stock market, sitting at number 18, so this is definitely not a business to ignore. Now, in 2019, Nvidia did face some struggles. There were a lot of negative sentiment around the stock, and just the outlook for Nvidia didn't look very strong, or so it seemed. But me personally, I did some more research into the business. Absolutely loved what I saw. Their financials were strong, management was great, and I started buying Nvidia myself pretty heavily, and today the stock sits as one of my most successful investments. Now, I made a few videos on Nvidia in the past when there was negative sentiment around it, and explained my thoughts and reasonings behind buying the stock, so if you do want to go back and watch it, check it out. I'll leave a link description down below to a video covering that stock. So now, why do I think that Nvidia will have a stock split here? Well, the stock price per share is getting pretty expensive, approaching $500 per share, and if we look at their history with stock splits, Nvidia has actually done 4 in the past. They did a 2-for-1 on June 27th, 2000. They did another 2-for-1 a year later on September 17th, 2001, followed by a third 2-for-1 on April 7th, 2006, and finally a fourth split, which was a 3-for-2 or a 1.5-for-1 a year later on September 11th, 2007. September seems to be a popular month for them, so keep your eyes peeled for a possible announcement late August or early September. Nvidia's earnings call is also scheduled in August, I believe August 19th, so we could hear something during the earnings regarding a split. Now, if they do split, I'd probably expect something like a 4-for-1 or a 5-for-1 split to get the stock back to around that $100 per share range. Another stock I think has a high possibility of splitting is Shopify, guys. Over the past year, similar to Nvidia, Shop is sitting at nearly a 200% gain, but look at the 5-year chart on this. It sits at nearly a 3,000% gain in just 5 years. All of this has brought Shop's current market cap to around $120 billion, which is a substantial value here for a business that's still fairly new. Now, funny story, I was actually a Shopify shareholder back when the stock was around $100 per share, slightly under that, and I did enjoy some nice gains on the stock, but eventually sold out and realized those profits, because Shopify is actually one of the only Canadian companies I'd ever consider investing in, but not at these current valuations. Now, I have been contemplating doing a dedicated video on Shopify, kind of going through the business again. It's been a while since I've done that, look at the fundamentals, where it sits, how it's growing, all that kind of stuff. So if that interests you and you guys actually want to see a video dedicated to Shopify, let me know in the comments section down below. And if we can get, say, 50 likes on the top comment for Shopify, I'll make that happen. So the interesting part about Shopify is that they've never done a stock split before, mainly because it's a fairly new company, but also because the run in their stock price price has been very recent. I'm sure even Shopify themselves did not expect this sort of run in the stock. Nonetheless, I think that it's an extremely popular stock. Many retail investors absolutely love this company, especially new investors in the market. And it would really make sense, at least in my eyes, for Shopify to do a stock split. Now, I think if they do a stock split, again, it'll be for the sole reason here, which is what most stock splits are for, to attract new investors. So I think we could actually see a 10-for-1 stock split for Shopify, which would bring the stock price to around $100 per share, which would be much more appealing to new investors and retail investors in general. I think anything less than that, like a 5-for-1, 2-for-1, will still keep the stock at a pretty high, expensive, appearance price. So I don't really see them doing that. And if they do a split, it'll probably be something close to a 10-for-1. Adobe is a tech giant, and I'm sure you did not expect to see this one on the list here, but it's a stock that's really taken off in recent years thanks to their shift to a software as a service or SaaS model with their suite of products. Now, the 1 year on Adobe is actually not bad. It's amazing at 57% growth, but when you compare to the previous two stocks, yeah, it's not as impressive. But the last 5 years here for Adobe has seen some amazing growth, up 400% after shifting their business model to a more subscription model, and this brings them to a $200 billion market cap today. Actually, they aren't much lower in the list here compared to Nvidia as the top market cap stocks, sitting at number 23. So yeah, Adobe is a tech giant. Now, Adobe has always been a stock for me that I've looked into, I've liked what I've seen, but never really made the move to own it for the long term. So yeah, I guess you could say I missed the boat on this one, but hey, you can't catch them all, right? Now, Adobe, like Nvidia, has done quite a few splits in the past, 5 to be exact, so we could see a 6th very soon. All of the splits they've done have been a 2-for-1 split, the earliest being November 23rd, 1988, then 5 years later on August 11th, 1993, then 6 years later on October 27th, 1999, October 25th, 2000, and then the most recent being May 24th, 2005. So it has been 15 years since the last split, and the stock has run up quite a bit since then, so I wouldn't be surprised to see an announcement on this sometime soon. Now, the earnings for Adobe is scheduled for September 15th, so maybe we see an announcement there for a split sometime in October again, which is quite possible, to keep an eye out for that. I think that if Adobe does do a split, they may stick to the traditional 2-for-1 here, or maybe even go for a 3-for-1 to get the stock price even lower, but I don't think we'll see anything much more than that just based on their past history. But now I think with the stock price pushing $450 per share, it's about time that they at least consider it. But anyways, guys, that kind of wraps up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of these 3 picks. Really different video, and if you want me to make a part 2 of this, which, I mean, it's fairly simple for me to do, but if you do want to see that with maybe non-tech stocks, let me know in the comment section down below, and we can make that happen, guys. But either way, what I do want to hear from you is 3 stocks that you think can see a stock split. Try to stay away from like the Amazons and the Googles to the obvious ones. Let's try to pick some new companies that aren't really in the spotlight as much that could see their stocks split as well. Either way, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to invest positively, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.